you doing? Okay. So, yes. I feel like for the past almost year and a half, I've been like pregnant with this idea, with this purpose, with this goal, and it was almost like I dropped everything in my life to sort of pursue it. And I feel like the last video I did, I was finally able to speak it into existence in a way that was meant to be spoken to existence. So I definitely feel like things are coming together. Things are coming together. Things are moving in a really positive way. Where we're going to, I found a way to kind of, I found a process, I found a book, something that will help me be able to integrate the shadow, which is a very important stage in alchemy, and the alchemical process has been my purpose for a while. I just printed out my Gene Key system. So this is what we're going off of. I'm using the book Gene Keys by Robert Rudd. Okay, I posted a video from his channel on my page, but he posted a book called The Gene Keys, which goes off of human design, which is a mixture between Kabbalah, astrology, quantum physics, I Ching, and the chakra system. So it correlates all of that kind of into, so this is my personal chart here. You can go on to genekeys.com and get your own chart, and it will explain to you your own personal things. So, but I'm kind of doing this, so my personal life's work, I have the 57th gate, which is the gate of the intuitive. Okay, so my life's work is the 57, so this is me completing my life's work, doing my life's work, and that is kind of as far as I've got so far. I have 51, which is the gate of shock as well, so there's an Aries element, a Libra element in there as well. That's kind of about as far as I've gotten. But I've got these dice here, a 12-sided dice and a 6-sided dice, so I'm going to roll the dice to get a gate intuitively, and it's going to talk about a shadow, and then we're going to talk about the embodiment of the shadow, and then we're going to talk about the gift that will be unlocked through working with that piece of your DNA, the genetic code, your cells, right? We all have these or like a mythological sort of shadows, things that we overcome, you know, in our, and I've got a book over here on the Kindle app on my computer that I am reading from, so we're going to be doing that. We're going to be pulling some tarot cards to kind of intuitively be able to create a story out of it, hopefully working to get through our ego and mutating our genes, getting ready to evolve, right? That's what we're doing. If we're not evolving every day, there's something we're not doing correctly. So this is all about evolution, working through our shadow, becoming the best versions of ourselves, of myself. I look at, this is all coming through me, so if you resonate with it, I'm never going to really speak on something that I don't resonate with myself. So, you know, if it gets touchy, if it gets a little bit raw, if it gets a little bit interesting, yeah. So if you guys didn't check out my Aries reading I just did, it was really interesting. It was talking about the ego, invisibility, learning how to have a healthy ego. Immediately after that happened, I started my period. So that is definitely coming to pass. Definitely a sign from the universe that I am on my path. Definitely a sign. It was almost like giving birth. It was kind of strange. So I've been sitting on this idea. I've been impregnated with this idea for a very long time. This purpose, this sort of spark in my chakra system of what my purpose is. Somehow the tarot corresponding to this could have something to do with having the same birthday as Aleister Crowley, one of the main people that brought the tarot to where it is today. Definitely something tying in there. He has that same gate open, as well as the creator of the human design system has the 5751, which is my life's work and my evolutionary process. I do not have the 55th gate, so that is something I'm definitely willing to learn about, but I do not personally have the 55th gate in my chart. That is the one that we are moving into in Pisces. I have it in my human design chart, but it is not in my gene keys gate. So whether I'll be able to activate that within myself, I don't know, but I'd love to be able to try and help you intuitively be able to activate that within yourself. if it's in your gate. It should all be in our gate, right? We don't want to get left behind. This is survival of the fittest. If you're not working on updating your genetic codes, you're going to get left behind. You're going to die out. You will not survive through this process. It's the pyramid. It's the human, it's how it's going to go. So we're going to get to a point where we are evolving. It's important. And it is my life's work as the intuitive to be able to bring this to you in a way that is not in the same sort of frequency that I feel like human design is in. So we're going to make it kind of fun. We're going to make it a little bit of a game. The tarot is cool. It's a little bit of a karmic, it's a karmic category, but I'd like to bring a different sort of flair to it. Real knowledge, real things, real life lessons with real knowledge. So let's do this. I am marymadelyn. And yes, let's do this. Okay, for Scorpio. $23 or 32. Let's take a look and see. All right, we have the 23 here, so that is in Taurus, and the 32 is in Libra. I'm going to do the 23 because Taurus is your opposing sign. Let's see what it is here. 23. Assimilation. Taurus, and it's going to correspond to the throat chakra. Okay. Scorpio, I know, let's see, what does the gene key code say it is? Okay, so this is the alchemy of simplicity. Complexity, simplicity, and quintessence. So let's click on that. You gotta take me to the page though. Here we go. Okay, so the shadow is complexity. The ring of life and death corresponding gates or gene keys that go along with it. Its partner is the 43rd gene key. Do I have that one in my chart? No, I don't have either of these. I have the 22nd though. The 22nd one is crazy. Okay, so let's see. Complexity. So the ones that are also in this ring of life and death is the 3rd gene key, the 20th, the 23rd, the 24th, the 27th, and the 42nd. Okay, it's physiology is the throat or the thyroid gland. Okay, so working through this shadow, if you deal with weight issues, fluctuating weight, I personally do myself. I've weighed 200 pounds before. So, I mean, it's I mean, okay, don't judge me, but I mean, I'm not judging me. I've worked hard to get my body to where it is. Just stop talking. Okay, its amino acid is leucin, lysine. What does that mean? Dictionary, please. It has no definition. Okay, so it is a hydrophobic amino acid that is consistent fluid of proteins. It is an essential nutrient in the diet of vertebrates. A gray or white potassium aluminocloside. I don't know. Can you read it out loud to me? Because I don't know how to say these words. Okay, we're just going to go with it. If you want to look it up, it's leucine. That is the amino acid that goes with this genetic gate, okay? So complexity. I don't even know what complexity really means, so let's look that up first things first. Complexity, a state or quality of being intricate or complicated. A complicated process or situation. The complexities of family life, or an issue of great complexity. So this could talk about being very unique, very dynamic, being very deep, and being very intense. This is perfect for you, Scorpio. It is your sister sign of Taurus, so this could be you helping out your sister sign a little bit. Okay, this is where it originates in the tree. So if you have a prominent Scorpio placement in your chart, obviously I rolled the dice, so this just came out. Let's pull some tarot, though, to kind of get an idea of the situation. I'm going to start with a couple oracle cards. We'll do the 12 gates of heaven to get your house system laid out to see what is going on in each of the 12 houses of your astrological chart. Obviously, if I was doing a personal reading, I would be able to pull up all of your own personal charts and we could dig into it and we could correspond to where the planets are actually sitting, because what planet you have on this gate will determine how it will happen in your life. So you have Saturn here. That's going to be completely different if you have Venus here. So take that into account. This is just an overview of what the gene key means. It can go so much deeper, and it is a sort of, like, it's a key. You have to kind of, it's like all the little rivets in a key, right? So it's going to unlock, it's different for every single person. So this is just an overview, and you're going to need to allow it to kind of work with your own genetic code a little bit differently. We have Lumeria. All right, creating heaven on earth, and it's happening. Hi, thanks. You got chippies? Yeah. Protection. Call your power back, cut cords, and soul retrieval. Obviously, if this is not something you're comfortable with, I would leave now, because it will do something to your genetic code by being here. Just by hearing me, I'm going to read from the book. It's going to activate something within you. If you're not ready for that, please go check out some of my other videos. They're not all like this, but just these ones are kind of deep. I'll go to a different channel. Thanks. Okay, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Interesting how we got the 23rd and we're in 2023, so I definitely think that there is. How does it change you, the genetic code? That's a great question. Let me go over here to the beginning of the book, and he explains it, so I will read it to you because I feel like that's important. Let me see if I can get it from my brain. It's meant to, I gotta read it straight from the book because I don't want to go to beginning. Okay, okay, so the gene keys are designed to be contemplated and digested over time. Each key contains a unique message, and each takes time to absorb before you feel a change occurring in your life. Contemplation is far more than simply thinking about something. It is a direct imbibing of a universal truth at a physical, emotional, and mental level. Therefore, it is a good idea to begin your voyage into the gene keys with a sense of relaxedness and patience, to enter the path of contemplation, to slow down inwardly in order to begin to see things around you more clearly. Okay, so it's not really answering it. The activation sequence, discovering your genius through your 4 prime gifts. Okay, let's see. The creative companion. I'm going to use this book, because you would like to use this book if you're like an oracle. In the spirit of the original I Ching, you can open it at random in response to a question you have. Okay, so it's just kind of explaining that. Let's go on. What is your higher purpose? The voyage of letting go. Hold on. Your DNA is a wormhole. It contains a code that, when activated, opens up to the core of the holographic universe. As such, DNA molecule is really a transducer of light. The more open the wormhole is, the more light pours into it. Like a torus, in both Taurus as in Torus. What does that mean? Because I don't know what that means, so I can't read that sentence if I don't know what that means. A torus is a surface or solid formed by rotating a closed curve, especially a circle, around a line that lies in the same plane but does not intersect it, like a ring-shaped donut. Okay, so it's talking about the more open the wormhole is. Okay, so let's just reread the whole thing. Your DNA is a wormhole. It contains a code that, when activated, opens up to the core of the holographic universe. As such, the DNA molecule is really a transducer of light. The more open the wormhole is, the more light pours through it. Like a torus or a donut, it both draws light towards itself and emanates outward. Eventually, so much light will radiate through you that the wormhole itself collapses, resulting in a supernova, reveals to you your true universal nature as one with all creation. So I really think that it's just the frequency, especially with us all being here and adding our energy into this amazing book of art, right? It's talking about also the precession of the equinox. It talks a lot about the 55th gene key and how, when it's moving back into this final gate before it actually moves into Aquarius, it really talks a lot about the 55th gene key. It also talks, there's a strong correlation to the 22nd gene key, but we pulled 23. So yes, of course. Okay, so let's go back to the 23rd. Good question, though. I'm glad I cleared that up, because that's actually important. Go to the last red page. Go to table of contents. And the 23rd, we are doing the Gene Key 23, the alchemy of simplicity. All right, answer the call. Lumeria. Lumeria, I was listening to Chiron, okay, Magnetic Service. I was listening to him talking a lot about Lumeria. I never really resonated very much so with Atlantis. I resonated more because I am from the West Coast, Pacific Northwest. Yay. Okay, anyways, so Lumeria, it reminds me of like Hawaii. It kind of reminds, it's like, it reminds me of Avatar even, like the blue beings. Okay, so they were very much so about the pineal gland. That was what their biggest power was the ability to see very far. When I think of the females, as I became into the tarot community, and the females, the strong females, the high priestess, because that Lumeria was a very feminine based culture. Right, it was the feminine energy that's when the feminine energy was goddess, right? It's when we would bow down to the feminine energy, right? Sati, sacred Sati, what is it? So there's 3. Where's my notebook? Where is it? I actually really need that. Hang on. Is it in here? What do I do with it? Hang on, I gotta find my notebook. So there's 3 different, oh my gosh. Hey, lady, what are you doing? She said, leave me alone. I don't know where my notebook went. I don't need it, I guess. Maybe I do. What's this one? I don't know what happened to it. Okay, we don't need it. Stop, I'm getting distracted. Okay, let's just keep going, guys. Sorry, I don't know what I did with it. Did I take it into the bathroom? I don't think I did. Is it in the bathroom? It's not in the bathroom. Okay. Well, I guess I just don't need it then. Oh, I found it. I got it right here. Okay, so this is my Emerald Tablets notebook, the Great Emerald Tablets of Thoth. I've got the 7 different gods on the front of this. I started this about at the very beginning of my spiritual awakening last year. It's almost full. Okay, so we have here, let's go. So this is correlating to the 22nd gene key, which is the one right before this one. So there will be some, so it's talking about the 3 beings, okay, the 3 fractals of light that come from the Holy Mother, the Shakti, the Savior. The Shakti is the sexual energy of the feminine goddess. I'm going to show you guys a card. This is a very special deck to me, but something similar to, right, okay, so we have here the Council of All Beings. This is on behalf who I speak upon. Let's see if I can find it. I was just looking at it. And it talks about where are you at? Can I please see the Goddess of Earth? Goddess of Earth. Goddess of Earth. If I can't find her soon, oh yeah, here we go. So this is similar to what the Holy Mother resembles. The Goddess of Earth, right? The milk coming from the breasts. She has the beehive atop her head. She has the cow resembling, you know, the sacred beings of the cow, being one of the animals that Source or God would consider himself to be. Okay, she has the, it's very interesting, the milk coming from her lap, coming from her boobs, is going onto the ground, and it's creating a sky. She has the mountains, she has the pyramids, and she has the cone on top of her head, which resembles the pineal gland. She also has some figs in her hand, as well as some oranges. Right? Very powerful card. right? All beings coming from the goddess of earth, coming from the sacred mother. Okay, so coming from that, we have the three avatars, which is Hermes, Christ or Jesus, and the Buddha. Okay, these are the three different incarnations. Hermes being alchemy, which is going to be important for this. Hermes, Mercury. Jesus is Mercury, right? For the Word. At first there was the Word. That is, Christ is the Word. Jesus is the Word. Your Word is Christ. Whenever you speak Christ, right? When Christ, like, you think of people would drink from his mouth. People would drink from Christ's mouth, meaning that they would absorb the words that he spoke. We are all Christ. Christ is in our spinal cord. Christ is an oil that rises up the 33 vertebrae, ergo meaning the 33 years that Christ was alive. Posted a video of that on my community board. Definitely want to check my community board out. I post some pretty cool videos on there. As a YouTube, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so yes, I do. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. So that's what I have for this. What else did I get from that? Okay, so the 7 later. We're doing the 23rd. I need to get on task. Sorry. So let's talk about this. Whenever the 23rd shadow speaks, it complicates the situation. Okay, so whenever this shadow speaks, it makes things complicated, as I'm doing right now. I'm definitely tapped into the energy. I'm making it complicated. I'm bouncing around. I'm making things very difficult to understand. Okay, so that's where if you embody the quintessence, you allow your mind to wrap around these complex topics, these complex ideas, right? You allow yourself to digest the word of Christ, whether you're learning it from someone else or learning how to embody that voice of your own, because we all have that voice within us. It's just a matter of unlocking it through these gene keys, right? You just have to get there. That's why this deals with the throat. So that would be able to unlocking the throat chakra and speaking from that divinity within yourself, having that clear sort of mind to embody that of the Christ to help move people and get them to the city of awakening. The love of spirit. 25th gene key to the 51st gene key. Right? They all correlate, right? Okay, so this is making things extremely difficult to understand. Okay, so the challenge with the 23rd shadow is found in the programming partner, the 43rd shadow of deafness. The 23rd shadow represents an overwhelming human urge to express yourself, coupled with the inability to hear either yourself or others. This creates a lethal cocktail. One of the great problems for individuals is to communicate clearly with others. Hearing yourself means being aware of what is going on inside you. If you have no such self-awareness, then you are also unable to really hear what is going on outside of you. This is read from the Gene Keys book by Robert Rudd. Just so you guys know. Check out the book. It's great. You can get it on. I just ordered it from like my public library online. So it won't cost you any money to get it. Check it out for yourself. Dive into it. Get your own chart. This is just me having fun with this. Okay, so let's see. Which means you will not know how to relate to others. Language is immensely powerful as a medium for stirring up the volatile, humane, emotional spirit. Whether this 23rd shadow speaks, it complicates the situation, which in turn catalyzes exponential process of misunderstanding that can soon escalate from a mental process to an emotional one. The fear beneath this 23rd shadow is meeting intolerance and being excluded by others. Ironically, this fear drives the behavior that manifests the fear. I could definitely see this being a shadow trait of Scorpio. I have my Mercury in Scorpio. Mercury is how you communicate. So I resonate with this a lot, right? Scorpios kind of stay by themselves because it's almost easier than allowing someone to get so deep into your very complicated mind. It's like that, they wouldn't understand it, so what's the point in even talking about it? So you just kind of internalize it. But I think that working through this shadow of complexity, you will, by embodying it and learning how to speak in a way that others will resonate with you, or finding the right people that will resonate with you, will give you the gift of simplicity, which will make it easier for you to communicate with more simplicity. Okay, so the repressive nature of the shadow is dumb. So that means you're internalizing it. Okay, you're not expressing it. In the regressive nature or society, the expression of the 23rd shadow will rarely be tolerated. Whatever you see, societies that keep others silent, you are seeing fear work through the shadow. Depending on how acute the level of fear is, the individual or group will probably never express what they really think. Language will be held back, either through internal repression or external oppression. It is interesting that the modern meaning of the word dumb has come to refer to the lack of intelligence because that is how often people are perceived. If you are choked by fear, you cannot speak clearly, if at all. And so these people slowly learn not to say what they really think instead of lapsing into silence or superficiality. This is particularly true of children who have often very oppressive parents. This just kind of hit me. I have Saturn at the 1st degree of Taurus and Mercury at the 1st degree of Scorpio. So this is very much so resonating with me and the way that I communicate. Being Saturn limits my ability to communicate because I know that what I have to say is complex and it's very, I think about things to a very deep level. I also have a Virgoian and Aquarian sort of ability to categorize things and have them actually make sense. But yeah, this is like communicating with my Saturn right now. So this is kind of scary. The reactive nature is fragmented. This reminds me of the shadow oracle, and it's like the fragmented one. I don't know if anybody here has that deck. And it talks about the angel that has all of her limbs spread across, and she's like trying to find all the pieces of herself to like put back together. Even though it would never be the same as it was when it began, so it's like the search for yourself. The other side of the shadow is the expressive nature, which cannot stop talking. However, there is a general mistiming within their neurology. They create enormous interference and fragmentation wherever they go. These are people who always say the wrong thing or say the right thing but at the wrong time. The language pattern of such people tends to overcomplicate and miss the essential meaning of things. They spend an enormous amount of energy trying to be heard, only to find that they are constantly pushed away. These people tend to talk in circles, over-explaining everything in an unconscious attempt to conceal the anger that lies within them at not being understood on a much deeper level. So the 23rd city is Quintessence, which is the embodiment of the shadow. Let's get some oracle cards out now that we read the shadow. You can kind of understand the issue. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm gonna cry because this is like literally really close to my Saturn line. So I love Saturn though. I feel like it's not good work if the work isn't really hard. If you don't really have to work to get something done, it won't be worth it. The sheer beauty of ultimate realization is that it is always discovered by mistake. 10 of Swords for your first house. You could be feeling defeated in terms of the way that you communicate, just feeling like everything you say, nothing's coming across correctly. You're feeling fucking just like nobody understands you. You're just like, you're dying for someone to just fucking understand you, to hear you, to not even have to speak it, but just to have someone understand your energy. Sometimes it's best to not say anything at all, right? That silent sort of understanding. Because as a Scorpio Mercury, I don't always really like to talk. I want someone to understand me intuitively because I'm an intuitive being, as are you, Scorpio. Let's get the second house, please. I'd like to see the values, the upbringing for Scorpio risings. Okay. This could have even stemmed from as early as childhood. Right? Maybe your parents didn't understand you, right? You're complex, you're deep, right? You're intuitive as well. especially if you're born during this age, this time. You probably were sent here on with a divine purpose. You're probably a very old soul, and you're probably very deep. You could possibly even be a little bit on the darker side of things. No judge, no hate, no hate at all. There is a reason that there is dark, and there is a reason that there is light, and I think that they are both equally as important. And that's why we integrate the shadow. We accept the shadow, and we love ourselves for the shadows that we have. And by doing that, by loving the people around us, loving their shadows, we get closer and closer to stop being a victim to life's circumstances. Thanks, guys, so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Let's go on to the next one. We have protection, call your power back, cut the cord, and soul retrieval. The third house, this is of communication, siblings, community, ego, what you desire to learn. Ten of Pentacles. I think that once you beat this fear of speaking, Scorpio, the things you're going to say are going to bring your these things that people didn't want to listen to. People told you, no, don't speak, don't speak. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear you talk about those things. Nobody know. No. Speak. Speak even if no one is watching. Speak if you're all by yourself. Speak to yourself. Feel confident in your speech. Know how powerful your words are. But know that it's okay to say less. Allow your energy to speak for you. Like that, Scorpio. Let's go to the fourth house. This is an angular house. This is going to be the house of your IC. This will be in Aquarius if you are a Scorpio rising. Okay, Page of Swords reversed. I feel like you like to keep your with the Ten of Pentacles being your immediate environment. The Page of Swords reversed. Page of Swords is someone that will speak her mind because she's not afraid to upset her environment. This is someone that will hold their tongue. While there is definitely power in that, respect in that, there is a time where you have to learn to accept your voice and understand that sometimes you're going to say things that people are not going to like. But you have to like you for being able to say those things, but say them at the right time, right? Sleep on it. Don't speak out of things of rage, speak out of things of wisdom. Speak from your Buddhic voice, right? Speak from that peace within you. But also don't speak to people if you know they're not going to want to listen. Don't waste your breath. Sometimes that's the time when it's just best to say nothing at all. Then people are going to be like, why are you not talking? Why are you not speaking, Scorpio? Why you don't want to speak to me? Why you don't want to talk to me? Maybe it's because they don't listen. Why would you waste your energy if nobody wants to listen? Shit. I feel that. Okay, let's go fifth house. Your creative expression, please, for Scorpio rising. Four of Wands. It did come out reversed, let's be honest here. I feel like you're afraid to express yourself creatively. I feel like there's definitely a sort of rapport that you're trying to upkeep. I feel like there's definitely sort of a holding back of who you truly are, right? I think that you're trying to make things seem really cookie cutter when shit, you know, life's not very cookie cutter sometimes. You don't gotta fake it to make it, you know? Sometimes it's that breaking down of that hard exterior shell that's gonna really get you that understanding. You can't be a rock on the outside and want people to understand your soft interior if you can't show them your soft interior. Very Cancerian energy there. So you have a Cancer placement as well. Let's take a look and see. Give me the sixth house, please, the daily routine for my Scorpio risings. Judgment reversed. Definitely feel like there could definitely be some things that you could do to take better care of yourself, take better care of your routine, your body, the way you eat. I think that you can make better judgment calls on how you spend your time. I think that you can make better judgment calls on who you decide to speak to as well. This could also talk about being in the phase of this shadow where you're listening, which is a big part of this, right? Is the ability to listen is a big part of this shadow. I like that. Let's go on to the next one. Let's keep this going. It's getting long. Scorpio. Give me the 7th house, please, for relationships for Scorpio rising. Okay. All right. So your 7th house, if you're a Scorpio rising, this would be where this gate is actually located at, the High Priestess. I think that Scorpio, I think you're very intuitive. I think that you possibly even have a divine purpose here to possibly be someone to speak about others' relationships, help people intuitively. I think that you have this complex mind for a reason, right? You look at the tapestry behind her, it's very complex. Okay. Doesn't have to be a shadow. You can make it work for you. Just find a way to make it simple when it comes out of your mouth. It's all about being understood. Give me the 8th house, please, for Scorpio risings. This is going to be in the sign of Gemini. For my Scorpio. The moon. You could have a Gemini moon in the 8th house. Very interesting. For Scorpio rising, okay. That could actually lead to a little bit, actually now that I'm thinking about this, you think of the moon and Mercury combination, they're not favorable. That could even be talking about psychosis a little bit. I think that, let's see. Yeah. I have psychosis in my chart. That's the 61st gate. So my fractions are 5, 7, 6, so 57 over 51, and then 62 over 61 in human design. Those are both need to be simplified because that's like more than one. You could have even been like a loner going through school, possibly, where it's like maybe you didn't really hang out with a lot of people, so you just learned a lot, and maybe it made you like extremely intelligent. You learned a lot of things. You didn't really hang out with friends so much. You like to learn, which made you kind of like really, really smart. I think Scorpios are one of the most intelligent signs. The 9th house. Okay. Give me this 10th house, please. Okay. All right, come on now. Give me the 11th house, please. Okay. Be patient with yourself, Scorpio. Give yourself time to transform. If you end up going through a transformation, know that the universe and spirit and your guides will always be there to assist you in any sort of way financially. Be cautious of your money. Make sure you're not giving more than you're receiving. Let's go into this, the quintessence of this. Okay. At the highest level of the 23, it gives away to the city of Quintessence. Quintessence is a word that derives mainly from the ancient and medieval philosophy. It refers to the so-called magical 5th element, or ether, that was believed inherent in all things. At the level of the 64 cities, words are vibrations rather than words with specific meanings. The word quintessence carries secrets within it that give us many clues about the highest aspect of the 23rd gene key. The 23rd city has an alchemical flavor to it. At the metaphoric level, it refers to the ability to extract gold from base metal, the goal of all alchemy. Therefore, people of the city are able to touch the gold hidden within other human beings. They can transmit the power of the awakened state, a word or a look or a gesture. This is the Midas touch. Every person has a unique key that opens them to higher states of consciousness, and other people of this city hold all the keys. They do not necessarily know that the truth of the keys, but simply respond spontaneously to the other person. In doing so, they touch the core of that person. They are highly unpredictable people, as the ancient Chinese name for the archetype of this city is about splitting people apart. At the frequency of cities, thought is revealed for what it is. Atomic energy, every thought that is not absolutely necessary simultaneously undergoes a process of nuclear fission. It splits apart and releases pure organic energy into the physical aura of being. At the highest frequency, this splitting apart refers to the separation of your inner essence from the illusion of your separateness. Everyone at the Siddhic state undergoes the process of alchemical transformation. In the earlier stages of the Siddhic state, your psychology undergoes a deep genetic transmutation. This change is caused primarily by the fallout from the splitting apart of your thoughts. The entire body undergoes a period of profound physical sensation, sometimes experienced as pleasure and sometimes as pain. Whilst the continuity of your thinking is destroyed. Once the dust has settled, what remains is the quintessence, the consciousness itself, speaking or acting through the shell of the personality. This is the true explanation of the secrets hinted at by alchemy. That is the physical body. Itself contains the seed of the Siddhic consciousness. It is concealed in your DNA and controlled by a hidden timing mechanism that is utterly spontaneous and out of your individual reach. There is no way for you to trigger this event because it lies beyond the reach of your mind, and anything you try to do to encourage the event actually gets in the way of your natural process. In the same way that the 23rd shadow unconsciously blurts out its inappropriate expression, so the higher consciousness suddenly and unexpectedly denotes within your body. Hi. Okay, so let's go over here. We're going to read about the gift. That's the city, so that is going to be the embodiment. So that's the final stage. So that's once you've received the gift, what will happen. We just talked about the shadow at the beginning. I don't have these pants on. Okay. Okay, the gift is simplicity. Less is more. All right? Less is more. There's nothing more beautiful than a woman that doesn't have to go through all these craziness to just look beautiful. The noblest truth. The woman that can be beautiful by being intelligent, by being multifaceted, by being simple. I think it's one of the most beautiful things. You know, you don't want to have somebody that is so, it's a beautiful sort of frequency. Right? It's like the woman that can show up in like a nude outfit, or in someone that is just like wears the most basic simple clothes, but it's like through that, it's like girl next door kind of energy, but it's very it's beautiful. Okay, let's go. One of the hardest things for most modern human beings to live is to live simply. Sometimes simplicity is even considered synonymous with stupidity. Actually, the lower frequency of your genetics, the more complicated you will tend to make things. The reason for this is the human mind. The mind does not trust simplicity because it thrives on complexity. The more complicated something is, the more the mind can think about it. So when you come to this 23rd gift, we are learning one of the great secrets of a happy life. Keep it simple. If you love simplicity, you will manifest it around you. The 23rd gift arbors clutter and jargon. It communicates precisely, clearly, and with great economy. The power of simplicity is to create efficiency wherever it goes. People exhibiting the gift of simplicity waste nothing in life. Their living areas usually reflect their thinking. With plenty of open space and room to breathe, they are able to cut through all the dross and get straight to the essential point. Simplicity is the state of being, an attitude towards life. It is as such, it cannot be really taught. It takes a great sensitivity to be this simple. It is more of a knack, an aura, even a love. If you love simplicity, you will manifest it around you. The gift of frequency is the clearing house for the process of preparing you to realize the Siddhic awareness. As such, the 23rd gift is an ongoing process in which more and more clutter is gradually removed from your inner and outer life. Your mind clears, spaciousness opens inside of you, allowing you to see things with great clarity. Another manifestation of this frequency is a slowing down of your internal system and a gradual lessening of your need to resolve everything in your life. Emotions are allowed to follow their. Let me try to get a drink of this tea. I waited too long and now it's not hot anymore. It's okay. And I put the tea bag in there for too long. Okay, it's okay. Emotions are allowed to follow their natural course. Thoughts begin to have more gaps between them, and physical impulses are either observed objectively and dispassionately or are indulged without guilt. Everything inside your nature begins to become clear. The many problems of your life are seen as phantasms created by your mind, acting upon your desires. You naturally begin to turn within and contemplate your own essence. A good metaphor for simplicity is flying an airplane through and above the clouds. In the clouds are the mind finds only complexity, and it goes around in circles trying to find the way out. In these lower frequency clouds, you pick up static all the time. At higher levels of frequency, your mind sees further and more clearly. At the level beyond the clouds, the world mind is left below, and you begin to move into silence. This 23rd gift is the programming partner of the 43rd gift of insight, are deeply connected to the acoustic field of sound. These two gifts are about clear hearing and clear translation of hearing. On an inner level, clear hearing really refers to knowing. We noted the 43rd shadow that there is a theme of deafness underlying these two gene keys. As your frequency rises, however, this deafness becomes an ally because it acts as a truth filter. Through the 23rd gift, you hear only the essence, and all the extraneous low-frequency noise is edited out. As part of the marvelous codon ring known as the Ring of Life and Death, the 23rd gene key captures the very same insights that were left for humanity by the Gautam Buddha. Okay, the beautiful simplicity of the Four Noble Truths, the Eightfold Path, the wisdom left by the Buddha, reflect the secrets of this codon ring. Throughout the third gene key, we see that life is change and is subject to secession. Through the 20th gene key, Buddha discovered that truth lies, that all truth lies in the awareness of the present moment. The 24th gene key describes the continual process of the rebirth in the wheel of samsara. The 27th gene key speaks of the essential moral code of goodness lying in the heart of humanity. And the 42nd gene key teaches of the power of detachment. Once you have discovered each of these secrets in your life, you will arrive at the point of beautiful simplicity, in which the higher level of the 23rd gene key, the quintessence, which is seen as the center of centers lying deep within your belly and your being. Enlightenment comes only through this deep immersion into the core acceptance of life and death. To be around someone exhibiting the 23rd gift is a wonderful and powerful experience. Things that you thought were problems somehow dissolve in their presence, and through their insight and clear language, difficult things become easy. Above all, you begin to relax, and physically in their presence as it occurs, the mind lets go of the need to constantly resolve complexities. Simplicity is deeply practical in the material world, and these people are often very good at handling money. It is not that they know how to make money, but they know where not to waste it. They are not tight in any way, but they find the simplest solutions to things. They are masters of efficiency, and that they can come up with highly original yet utterly practical ideas that lead to quantum leaps in productivity. The 23rd gift does not look at things in a logical way, nor does it describe it as an artistic nor would you describe it as artistic or abstract. The simply knows spontaneously without knowing where the knowing came from. The essence of genius, the quality that most often accompanies this 23rd gift is playfulness. Although this can be very intense gift, it is not a serious one. These people think in very lateral ways, not in the normal way in which we understand thinking. They observe silently until the solution jumps into their awareness, at which they point. They can communicate it effectively and beautifully. The combination of all these traits makes them wonderful teachers. The final aspect to mention about this 23rd gift is the incredible sense of humor in the way in which the gift operates to rise to a hilarious, spontaneous expressions, in some way capture the essence of a person or a particular moment. These people are so on the ball because they do not plan what they are going to say. They often take everyone by surprise. At lower frequencies, this trait can cause hurt and rejection. At a high frequency, however, it usually causes laughter or awe. It is all the matter of frequency. Above all, people operating out of the 23rd gift are wonderfully clear communicators and advisors. Their true genius lies in the economy of their language and the originality of their expression. Theirs is the noblest truth of all, the gift of simplicity. Okay, so let's pull some oracle cards. We're going to get one oracle card for each of the zodiac signs, and then I'm going to get out of here. This one is really long. I really liked that a lot. Resonated with me. They all kind of resonate with me. I'm sure that they're all going to resonate with you. I'm going to try to stick to doing these. I'd like to get every single zodiac sign to at least go through each of the shadows one time. So that's a lot of videos. So if you're into shadow work, you like doing shadow work, but doing shadow work in a way where we're actually getting something that's going to benefit us for doing the shadow work, I would definitely recommend subscribing to the channel. Yeah, it's a process for all of us. If you read tarot, you like to read tarot, I would definitely recommend getting this book. I think it would be a great way, especially if you deal with shadow work, I think it is a great itinerary to put into your daily practice. It's wrote by Robert Rudd. It's great. It's great. I think that every tarot reader should have a copy of this book. I do. So we're actually getting somewhere when we're doing light work. There's actually things that we're receiving for the work that we're doing. Whether you're, as I'm reading through these, it's activating me, so that's what I'm getting. If it's activating you, that's on you. We're all kind of selfish beings, but, you know. Aries, we have growth, 11:11, 52:54 minutes. Let me see, what do we got? Scorpio and Taurus. Storm. Scorpio and Gemini, please. Good news. Scorpio and Cancer. Diligence. Working with that mother sign, you know, that water signs. We're getting the water signs. We got Pluto moving out of Capricorn, no longer opposing our, two cardinal earth and water signs. Diligence. I think that Cancer has gotten a great deal of power from this placement. I believe that Capricorn has as well. And I'm very excited to see how we're going to be taking this Aquarian age. I think we can really do some really positive things with it. We just got to learn how to harness the Pluto energy, which we can do. It's not hard. You just have to be able to face your shadow. That's what Pluto is about. It's about facing your shadow. If you can work with the shadow, you can love your shadows. You can learn to love the people in your life's shadow. Anything is possible. Forgiveness coming out for Leo. Leo and Scorpio, they have got a connection because, what's the name of the guy that went to the bottom of the Mariana Trench? It was a James Cameron. He's a Leo, and he went down there with another scientist that was a Scorpio. So it's a Leo and a Scorpio, two fixed signs, deepest part in the ocean. Definitely felt the connection there before I knew about that, but that's just always stuck in my head. Challenger deep. The deep challenger. Buddha called my butt crack. Buddha called my butt crack the Mariana Trench one time. So that was really rude.
Well, you bent over in front of me. I'm sorry. I got vertigo. I thought I was going to fucking die.
Jealousy. Bitch! Let's see. Okay, so what do we have here? We've got, that's 6. Okay, 7 is, wait, what? That was Virgo. Virgo, I mean, Virgo could probably, I could see Virgo being a little bit hateful of Scorpio, right? Scorpio's got that sex appeal. Scorpio has that sort of Martian, like, mysterious, and Virgo's like the opposite of that. So I can see that where there could be some. But why jealousy? I feel like that's just the grossest. We're gonna get to that. Definitely in the shadow. It didn't come out for me right away because I don't really get jealous. I mean, I guess I can get jealous, but definitely something that needs to be worked through. I can't wait to get to the feminine energies. When we start talking about feminines dealing with feminines, can we deal with that shadow, please? Because it's like, that shit's annoying. I just want to be nice. Can we just be nice? Clarity, woman of the world. So let's see, Libra, we got clarity, woman of the world. That's you, Scorpio. Judgment, we have coming out for Sagittarius. Not necessarily knowing which path to take. Let's see, what do we have for Cappy? My claptrap. The little robot from Borderlands, you know what I'm talking about? Claptrap? It's a claptrap. We have barrier. Aquarius, please. We have brown-haired woman. And give me Pisces, please. Generosity. All right, you guys are welcome. I really do appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. I would like to call all of my energy back to me. I would like to send all of your energy back to you. I would like to state that no one should ever be able to tell you who you are, and I think that you should not accept anyone telling you who you are. Okay, release that. First of all, if it resonates, you can apply it to your own story. I'm calling my energy back to me, sending your energy back to you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this helped. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow next time. Bye.